Hey guys, welcome to Rosie's Dessert Spot. In this episode I'll be teaching you how to make custard filled beignet. I'm starting off in a large bowl. I'm adding all of my custard ingredients together, and I'll have a recipe in the description box below this video. I'll combine everything and then I'll use a whisk to whisk it all together until that cornstarch disappears. Then using a strainer I'll strain it into a saucepan. Just take out any of the lumps if there's any cornstarch in there that didn't quite dissolve. And using medium heat on a stovetop, I'm going to whisk it continuously. And it'll take about 7 minutes until it becomes nice and thick, like a custard, just like so. Once you've reached kind of like a custard consistency, pour it into two separate bowls because we're going to make a chocolate version and also a vanilla version. Into the chocolate version I'm adding a couple of the chocolate buttons, and I'm mixing that through while it's still nice and hot just to melt all the chocolate. Once that's done, wrap it in cling film, and I'm pressing it up against the custard just to make sure that it doesn't develop skin while it's resting. Now we're going to start on our beignet. So I've got my milk and my water, adding a little bit of vanilla. You don't really have to, but I just thought it might taste a bit better that way. Add your butter, your sugar and your salt, and again this will all be in the description box. And I'm going to put that on medium heat as well until the butter is melted and the mixture comes to a simmer. At that point add in your flour and mix until it all comes together and forms like a ball. A nice ball like that. Put it into your standing mixer with your paddle attachment, and I leave it on low just until it cools down, because you don't want to add the eggs in until it's nice and cool, otherwise you'll scramble and cook your eggs. And then add one egg at a time, making sure that the other egg is incorporated before you add the next one. And here I used 3 eggs in total, just until you reach this consistency. Have a closer look there. And then with a piping bag fitted with this round nozzle, I'm going to pipe it onto a baking tray lined with some baking paper. And don't worry about those ugly peaks, we're going to fix those up soon. This makes about 40 little beignet bowls, depending how big you make them, of course. And then wet your fingers and just push those peaks down, and the water helps them not to stick to your finger. And I'm going to bake those off in a preheated 180-degree oven with my fan on, so 170 really with the fan on, and bake those for about 25 or so minutes. And each oven is different. You might find that 180 fan force might be the right temperature for you. And they're done. I'm going to leave them in there just to dry out a little bit for maybe 5-10 minutes. In the meantime, we'll prepare some whipped cream that we're going to add to our custard to make it a nice, rich cream custard. So I'm just whizzing that up with a bit of sugar, and you can add vanilla if you like, but I don't think I did here. And then clean your bowl and add in your custard. Now our custard's really tough, so once we add it back into our mixing bowl and whiz it up with the whisk for about 2 to 3 minutes, it'll come back to that nice fluid consistency. I'm going to fold through a little bit of that cream, and I've divided the cream in half. Half I'm going to put into the chocolate custard and half I'm going to put into the vanilla custard. So I've added the cream in 2 stages here. That looks beautiful. And do the exact same for your chocolate custard. And pop those in the fridge until the beignets are nice and cool and we can fill them. And to fill them I've used a skewer here just to make a hole for my piping tip to go through. And then fill it in with that beautiful custard cream. Next we're going to prepare our ganache. So I've got my white chocolate buttons and I'm adding my heavy cream. I'm going to pop that in the microwave for 30 seconds, making sure that all the chocolate's been coated by the way with the heavy cream. And then add some gel food colour to make it pink. Grab the beignet and dip it into the ganache. I forgot to fill these ones here, but do make sure you grab a filled beignet bowl. And pop over some decorations, and I've used some small and medium pearls here. Bit of a closer look. And next we'll make our fondant decoration. So I have a blossom plunger cutter here and some pink fondant. Using a ball tool and a sponge pad, thin out those petals right up until the edges and just flatten those, make them a bit wider as well by working with them like that. And I have a blossom veiner that I've lightly dusted with some cornstarch. And I'm going to press the fondant in between those two layers and it will make these really pretty details on our flower, which looks really cool. Then I pop that into a paint palette and that'll help it to dry in a nice shape. It's kind of rounded, gives it a lot more dimension. Then to make the leaves I have a leaf plunger with the veiner as well, and I'm attaching those onto my beignet just with some excess, the extra chocolate ganache that was left over. And just press that on. Bit of a closer look here. And these are really easy to do and they look really effective as well. Beautiful. And that's how you make a custard filled beignet. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I've put a link in the description box below that'll take you to a printable version of this recipe. If just for those who prefer to have it on paper. If you like, you can subscribe to my channel. I upload a new video every Tuesday and Saturday. Thanks again for tuning in and I'll see you next time. Gotta give these a taste test. You can see on the inside that is filled with custard. It's beautiful, nice and hollow. That chocolate ganache works really, really well with the custard as well. And this was the chocolate custard. Give you guys a closer look.